video and audio now. And I'm ready. So here goes. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Pack it in. It's time to go. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
Investigate before you invest in health services or products. Help stamp out quackery.
Well, I killed the wrong man as to which why I'm here.
Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. This is the Morning Stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the Morning Stream for February 3rd, 2020.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a palindromic date, and we didn't get to do a regular show for it, and that's too bad. But it was 02/02/2020.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, doesn't happen very often.
It does not, no, for sure.
But when it does, we sure like to talk about it. Anyway, it's the 3rd, so it's too bad, so sad. Until March 3rd, you don't get to do this again. No, until March 3rd, 2030. No, March 3rd, 3030, sorry.
Yes, right.
We'll all be dead then.
We'll be dead. Do you think the world will be around in 1,000 years? Like, do you think we're going to get wiped out by something like the coronavirus or by our own hand, like bombs or?
Well, I think the world will still be here. Humans might not, but the planet will live. The planet does not need us. The planet.
Well, yes, this is true. We are really just mold that happen to grow in the right conditions.
You're totally right.
On a wet planet.
Yep. And the minute the minute that can't do that anymore, well then, all right, it'll just keep going without us. It's fine. Yeah. It'll live on for another multiple millions of years, whether we're here or not. But I do like the idea of, will the planet be destroyed by thine own hand?
Yeah, you're right. Planet will be here. It'll be run by white tigers. Yeah. Really is what we've learned from this morning.
and littered with human just garbage, just stuff we left here, like just trash.
That's right. And just Lego bricks
as
far as the eye can see.
Yeah, just a plastic lake of molten, disgusting condoms and Lego pieces and wet hair and all just the worst possible.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Hey, so let's get on to it. We got a show. We got plenty to talk about. Yeah. I have a big announcement today.
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, apologies for the wackadoo over the weekend. So right after Friday's, right in the middle of the instance on Friday, my internet dropped down to horrible numbers, and we couldn't figure out what happened. I spent the next day and a half, like literally most of Friday and most of Saturday, trying to solve it. So some of you are like, where was our film sack? It's because that was a problem. And part of the problem was I could have figured something out for film sack, except the window of techery that was supposed to happen was right during film sack recording. And it just so happened that dude showed up right at the crack of 9 and was here for, 2 hours. It would have just killed film sack. So the point is, back and forth, up and down. I got a rigmarole way of backing things up if I need it. Also, inexplicably, despite multiple texts and people on the phone and other stuff saying, well, you don't know where the problem is. We don't know why this is happening. We're going to figure this out. We're escalating this, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, it's just working again. So I'm fine with that because it's working, and that's what matters most to me. However, I now have a backup plan in place. So if something goes weird, there's a cable I had to run through the window upstairs and out through the basement that'll now bring me DSL internet downstairs if I need it. So
it sounds like what I had to do when I was leeching off the neighbor's internet for a while.
Mm-hmm. Similar to that, you guys just had a cable.
We just had a long Ethernet cable that went from his upstairs modem between our houses and then into our basement window.
I love that you guys did that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I think, and there are still parts of that cable that are still around here.
Well, what sucked about that was the weekend was supposed to be a lot of other productive things, but also part of it was supposed to be me getting ready for something that's kind of a major thing for me today. And so it felt even crazier trying to get that ready and trying to be set for this thing. But yet here I am, and I'm ready to launch it. So are you ready, people?
Ooh, I'm ready.
Okay, I haven't launched a new comic project in a while. Like literally, if you look at my history, like an official one, lots of little experiments here and there, but an official comic project has not been launched for 15 something years. So it's been a while. Okay, and here's what I'm gonna do today. I am launching a really stupid idea, but I think it's gonna be good. So, so here's the history. In 2006, I created a one-off strip, just a one-off. It ran one day, called Fred and Can. And in Fred and Can, it was the spark of the idea was dude named Fred and his daily machinations with a sentient can of creamed corn who talks back to him, to nobody else, all right?
Right.
So to give you some reference point, think of like, Calvin and Hobbes. Hobbes, no one sees Hobbes alive except Calvin, right? It's like
Except
that.
for Calvin and Garfield and John. Only John can see Garfield. Garfield does not exist to other
to
the
people.
rest of the world.
At least that's the theory currently. But anyway, Fred and Cam was this weird, odd idea I had, and I wanted it to be, Fred's a little nuts, but also the can is a little maniacal. And together it makes for interesting combinations. And so in a desire to get back on my regular writing strip kind of plan for 2020, I wanted to relaunch something. And this idea just keeps coming back to me and back to me and back to me. I have sketches all over the place. I don't know why it's always intrigued me, but it has. There's something about this combination that just fits my weird brain. And so I'm doing it officially. Here's all you got to do to see the very first two strips. It's first to start out. It's weekly, although on the Frog Pants Patreon, there's ways to unlock additionals during the week. We'll get into that more later. But right now, it's one per week. There are two up there though to start with, and that includes today's and technically last week's, but they're both up there in the archive. Mm-hmm. If you go to fredcancomic.com or just go to frogpants.com, it's linked right there. It's a big splash page when you go there. Head off to there and check it out. Fred Can Comic. Here, Chad will give you a preview.
Fredcancomic.com.
Yeah.
So here's two very important things that I want to say.
Yeah.
Number one, no matter how much people ask, people will ask and people will beg for the answer to this.
Okay.
Never tell them whether or not the can really does talk or if it's just in Fred's
100%. Yeah, it has to be. That's a given. It's 100%.
Number two.
Yeah.
So can the can really talk, or is this just in Fred's imagination?
I'm not gonna say.
Damn it!
Because because that's how. See, what you do is you hold on to that until the bitter end. Let's say I run this thing for 10 years, and in 10 years I go, all right, time to reveal what the whole deal was the whole time, and then I have to keep that close to the vest. I can't just divulge that early. Not on day one. It's too early.
Certainly not on day one, but not even on day 100. No matter, it's like the that old TV trope, sitcom trope. All right, whatever you hear on the other side of this door, no matter how much I beg you, don't let me out of this room.
Right. And then you stood screaming, let me out of this room.
Okay, let me out of the room. Let me out of the room.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite thought experiments because it's so violent and hilarious. But anyway, it's gonna be interesting, and it will be every strip will sort of be its own little story. Although there could be multi-story strips, who knows? Mm-hmm. But it's gonna post every Monday, and for now and for the foreseeable future, and it's just a good place for me to get back to regular strip writing and keep working on that sort of stuff. Does this mean you won't see random weird art or other stuff? Of course not. That's all still there. But this is going to be just a good regimen for me, and I'm excited to do it. There will be
many, many things that won't fit in Fred and Can Canon.
Right, exactly.
Have to come out in other forms, yes.
And also, let me say this. It is so hard in 2020, or the last, even the last 20 years, let's say, to do anything that's really, truly new under the sun. Because the internet has made it so we all know what everybody's doing all the time. And as it turns out, lots of people are doing things that everybody else is doing, and you just didn't know you were doing it. And it's okay. There's nearly 8 billion people on this planet. There's a lot of brains pumping out content. You're going to run into similarities and iterations, and it's just the way it goes. My other motivation for this is I always felt back in 06 and even now that Fred and Can was wholly unique. Like there was nothing quite like it, that it was just weird enough to be out of anyone's purview, that nobody anywhere else is saying, hey, what if a guy and a can were the main two characters of the comic? And I really think that that's as unique as I'm going to get in the modern sense. So So there it is. Now it's going to be up to me to make good writing and good characterization so that people become endeared to the concept. And I think I can do it, and I want to do it, and I'm doing it no matter what. So stick around. FredCanComic.com, or if you can't remember that, frogpants.com has a big fat link to it. Especially today, there's a splash page that you hit that just takes you straight there, or lets you continue to the site. So
super cool.
Check it out. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback, and welcome to a new era of this, I suppose. It should be fun.
And question number 3.
Yeah.
In some ways, is Fred you, Scott?
In lots of ways, Fred is me.
And in some ways, is the Can Jim Raynor?
No, but that's funny you asked that. I have always felt like, okay, so you'll see this come out in the series, okay?
Yeah.
Fred is always going to feel a little bit outside of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that will be that he speaks to a sentient can of cream corn.
Right.
But he's always going to feel like in the world but out of the world. And that is definitely a thing that I have felt my entire life.
Sure.
Just this weird sense of I'm here but I'm not here. And I can't really explain it other than that. That's the simplest way I can say it. And so you'll get that sense from that, because definitely I do put that sort of thing in the comics. Even just the random stuff I do is often, there's sometimes like a melancholy sort of
course,
guy off in the corner kind of thing going on.
A lot of it, all that stuff kind of has to come from within anyway. So some of it has the tendrils of your own soul, your own.
Yeah, well said. That's exactly right. And I think people will see that come out of there. But anyway, and also the goal is that it'll be funny, and sometimes it'll be just poignant, and sometimes it might even be a little sad, but most of the time it'll be entertaining, and that's the goal. So if you want to check it out again, it's fredcancomic.com.
And if a bald person ever appears in the comic,
it's happening.
Will it be me?
It's happening. See, I haven't even
because anytime you draw a bald person, that's the first thing that comes up. That's like my Twitter vanity search notifications. Like, is that supposed to be Coverville?
Well, all right. So now that you bring this up, I'd like to make a revelation. That there is indeed he has a friend that hangs around here and there, and he is a bald guy, and he looks a little like you. So I'm warning you now. That is actually planned for the strip, and I don't want you to be freaked out when you see it. It's happening. Plus, you're really easy to draw. It turns out Brian's like the best person to draw on the planet.
Oh yeah, I mean, I proved that on Saturday with when I had to draw my avatar for one of the games we played on Jackbox. I can be drawn with 2 dots and 2 scribbly lines.
Yeah,
pretty accurate.
Yeah,
drawing
his circle on Jackbox, or our Jackbox Playdate the other day, was just an oval to draw on, and Brian took that egg-shaped oval, dot, nose, little mustache, little goatee,
little
strip
beard,
mouth, done. It was you, and it looked like, and you immediately went, "Oh, that's Brian Ibbett there. That's Brian."
Yeah.
So anyway, so the chat's got all kinds of questions like, "Does the can have a love interest?" You guys are gonna have to just wait and see how things progress.
Exactly. Boy, you can't spill all the candy in the lobby here. You gotta wait. You gotta.
Yeah, you can't just open the can and pour the food out immediately.
Right.
Does he have an expiration date? I don't know. Does he?
Oh.
Maybe he's well past it.
It's an expired can of cream corn, so.
He's definitely.
In one of the strips, I think it says an expired can of cream corn. So we do.
Yeah, it probably needs to. Well, of course it is. I mean, if he's never going to eat it, he's never going to open it, or
right.
Or will
end
he?
Of series.
Will he? Maybe he will. You'll have to wait and see. But I'm pretty excited about it, and I don't know, just sparks an old creative thing in me, but also a new one, and I don't know, just excited about it. So anyway, appreciate any support you may have for it. That is to say, check it out every Monday. We're starting kind of rudimentary with the site to start with. It's just real simple. Go get the latest comic, look at the archives if you want, that sort of thing. as they start to build up, or there are sets that are in a storyline of their own or that sort of thing, we may advance that and create better navigation or something. I don't know, but it's just to get it out there and get it going. I need to post it on it'll be on Instagram, it'll be on Twitter, it'll be on Facebook. Like, I'm putting it everywhere is the other thing, and
Smart.
not just the site. Because I'm a big believer these days that format doesn't matter like it used to. Like, it used to be this, Brian. It was like, I'm going to make comics like the newspaper used to do, and they're going to be
Right.
4 panels wide, and it's going to be exactly this dimension, and it's going to look like the paper used to do. No. We now
Doesn't
live
have
in
to anymore.
No,
Yeah.
and plus we all live in a time where we're looking at stuff vertically on our phones. Like,
Yeah.
we're flipping through it in very different ways. And so Instagram, for example, is panel by panel, and you flip through them. Twitter will be, probably just the 4 stack. I can do it in a 4 line if we want to for some other format. Like, there's ways to do it. Mm-hmm. But I just want it to be. That's the other thing, is I want to be smart about what's the word? About mediums this time around, because I don't want to get locked into this idea that comics are this way. No, they're not. They're it's whatever medium we're using at the time, and then you adapt to it. So I want it to be a funny thing. On Monday, you're like, that's great, and then you move on with your life. And then next Monday, that's great too. And if we end up doing 2 weeks, well, great. Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Thursday, or whatever it is. And just enjoy it, pop it in, pop it out. I don't want you to have to go somewhere and size your screen and pinch and zoom too much and that sort of thing. I'm trying to avoid all that stuff. We're in a new era, damn it.
Perfect. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
I think this is great because you design this for the way we consume media today, and it seems like exactly what you should be doing.
There you have it. There's something for everybody. There is a website to go to, so you can do desktop. You want to do mobile? Great, you can do that. It's all shrunk for mobile if you need it. The sites are responsive, so you can do all that stuff. All your social favorite networks, so it's going to all those. Even if you hate Facebook, it'll be there. If you love Facebook, it'll be there. Brian, I'd like to know what film you watched this weekend and how you might review
Can
it.
I consume it on Friendster?
Yes, Friendster compatible. MySpace, not so much.
All right, so I watched a movie this weekend that we did not go to the theater for. However, it is a current film. This is not something that I'm going to use for recommendals, although I do recommend it. The movie is Hustlers.
Hustlers. This is the J-Lo unit. Deal.
It is the J-Lo unit. No mention of Larry Flint, surprisingly, but
Weird.
we already had that movie.
Yeah.
This is based on an article called "The Hustlers at Scores: The Ex-Strippers Who Stole from Mostly Rich Men and Gave to, well, themselves."
Okay.
Which is the plot of the movie.
Right. That sounds right.
It's got, basically your 2 main characters are Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez, both of whom were excellent. And I do feel like Jennifer Lopez should have gotten some sort of acknowledgement at the Oscars. I don't know if she.
You think she just has the rap of like, hey, you're music woman, so no. I mean, you think that? I don't know. Maybe not.
We saw who did we see that with?
Lady Gaga did pretty good, didn't she?
Lady Gaga did pretty damn well last year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I just don't trust. I don't trust Hollywood. They're fickle and they change their mind too much and stuff.
They are fickle. This is true.
Yeah.
But basically, they play a couple of strippers at a New York strip club. It's not called Scores, but apparently it's based on Scores. And they kind of get this idea that they can bilk some of their customers out of even more money by drugging them and making them remember that they had a good time, but not really having to give anything up other than a few lap dances and some shots of tequila or whatever.
Sure.
Hijinks ensue. This isn't really a comedy. I mean, they call it a black comedy crime drama. That's the 4 words that it's described as on Wikipedia. Anyway, it's worth saying. You get Cardi B in there for a hot second. You get Lizzo in there for a hot second. So it's got, J-Lo isn't the only musician that makes an appearance. Julia Stiles plays the reporter that goes and interviews them.
Julia Stiles. She's the one in Oh, I know her from
Step
tons
It
of
Up
things.
or something. What was the? She did some sort of dance deal. What was the
Yeah,
dance?
her early thing was like a Step It Up kind of thing, right? A cheerleader thing.
Like
and
that was the
then-
first thing I remember seeing her in.
But she's in lots of stuff since then. Like
she has been. Yeah,
she's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, she has a baby face.
She is
though.
really good.
Yeah, she has the face of like a 11-year-old girl for some reason.
She does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You. Right.
Sure.
Bourne movies. Sure. Anyway, so I recommend it. This is a cheap rental. $2.99, $3.99 on your Amazon, your iTunes, whatever. And am I surprised that it wasn't nominated for a Best Picture? No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Save the Last Dance. That's what it was, Darth Marcus. Yeah, that's the movie I was trying to remember.
Save the Last Dance, right?
Save the Last Dance. That was her dance.
Yeah.
That was the dance thing.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
So anyway, worth seeing, but I'd even say you're probably fine waiting until it makes its way to a streaming service that you're already paying for, so you can watch it already.
But it sounds like worth seeing for the J-Lo performance.
Worth seeing for the J-Lo performance. Surprisingly, not as much nudity as you'd expect from a movie that takes place largely in a strip club. Yeah, there's nudity, but there isn't a whole lot of nudity.
There's probably no Jennifer Lopez nudity, right? Because she doesn't.
There's no Jennifer Lopez nudity. There's no Lizzo nudity. There's no Constance Wu nudity. There's a lot of skin on display, but there's just a few nipples strewn about, and that's about it.
You know that J-Lo is our age,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know who else is our age? Just turned 50 today? Warwick Davis.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was close.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that close to us.
He's a little tiny man, hitting the big one.
That's right.
That's great. No, J-Lo, so I was doing There Will Be Dungeons last night, so I missed most of the Super Bowl. I did catch the last, I watched most of the fourth quarter, but apparently I missed like a Trump ad and some Google thing that made people cry and other stuff. So I haven't seen any of the ads yet.
Google's ad was a soft one, but Bill Murray's Groundhog Day.
Oh, I did catch that. I
fantastic.
caught that later on some website just had an ad running before a recap of something, and they showed that. It was very good. It was very funny.
That's a good one. A clip showing the Disney Plus Marvel offerings.
Oh yeah, that looked great.
So freaking quick. It's like, oh, that looks. What? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But it's like, shot like a diners, drive-ins, and dives, where your eyes barely register the last thing you saw before you're seeing the new thing.
Plus, I have serious questions about what WandaVision is still. I just don't know what to. I don't know what to make of it.
It's going to be a psychological deal. I bet it's going to be on the same level of weirdness as that Legion show on FX.
Oh yeah, good.
Where there's a storyline, but a lot of the stuff you're watching is like, is this happening for real, or is this in their head, in Wanda's head? Because Wanda's a little batshit crazy, as we know from the comics, and
as we know,
but apparently, like it's like bounces around in different sitcom worlds, like I Love Lucy and Brady Bunch styled shows.
Well, here's what I hope.
Yes.
I hope that at the end of every episode, the guy that plays Legion pokes his head into the corner and goes at the end of every episode.
That's all, folks. See you next week here on Disney Plus.
Yeah, just become the guy that's like the if there's a psycho thing happening in your Marvel story, he shows up.
Right.
Just
he
shows up.
shows up. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
I like that. I like that guy anyway. So sure, I'm fine with that.
Well, I didn't see much of the game, although hell of a game, and congratulations, Kansas City, Missouri. Just putting that out there.
That's right.
Some people don't know where you're at. Anyway, and then what else?
Wacky border towns.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a border town situation. Yeah. However, Missouri is the claiming team.
Correct. Yes.
But
you know what? It was an exciting game. That's all. We went over to a friend's house and watched it there, and there was a big countertop full of food, and it was too close to the TV, so we all kind of sat around and we just kind of grazed on stuff you shouldn't be grazing on constantly.
Yeah.
But
how'd you do? Did you weigh in today or anything? Or
No, God, no. I basically have 4 days to repent for what I did yesterday. So it's going to be bikes and salads and bikes.
That's amazing. I love it.
But it was an exciting game. Didn't really have the only horse I had in the race was the fact that I bought a couple squares on a wagering pool deal, and none of my squares came true. Tina won a square. She won $10. Good.
That's great.
$1 in, $10 out.
Yeah, why not?
Of course, I gave her the $1.
Oh.
And she paid me back the $1 that I gave her.
Wow. Tina.
Kept the other $9 for herself.
Jeez. Well, I hope you spent it on something good, because
exactly.
Jeez.
But there was an adequate halftime show.
Yeah.
It was adequate.
I didn't see it. So let me ask you this. I hear it was a lot of people are clutching pearls, saying it was not family friendly, and there was a lot of gyrating and the hips don't lie, Scott. There was a lot of butt cheek on display, a lot of skin, just like the movie Hustlers, a lot of skin on display, some of which was J-Lo's. Yeah.
A lot of hips getting thrust.
And Shakira, did she come out and go make a sound like that? Okay. Because
she went right up to the camera and
that's my impression of her. Is that's how she sounds?
What's that?
It's how she sounds in my head. Is all her songs.
That's about right.
Yeah. Did you see somebody pointed out her outfit is identical to the one that her character used in Zootopia? Yeah. How great is that?
I did not notice that until I saw the tweet, and that was friggin' hilarious.
It's so good. Oh,
I did like the person who said that Bad Bunny, who came out and did a couple rap deals during their sets, looked like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. I said he looked like I said, who's the baked potato on stage with J-Lo right now? But I think Tin Man is even better.
Well, Oz never did want nothing from the Tin Man.
That he didn't already have.
Yeah, he didn't already have it. All right.
So I don't know. I mean, the commercials, I think, as a group, were far better than the ones we had last year. The halftime show was adequate.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, all I saw, like I said, was fourth quarter. We were playing D&D, and that's the first year I've done that, where I've missed, didn't have a party, wasn't at a party, didn't do a thing. It's been, I mean, I don't think I've ever not gone to some Super Bowl thing, and we didn't this weekend. Right. So Kim watched her British show she's hooked on, and I did D&D, and then at the very end we watched the tail end of the game, and I went, oh man, this was like an exciting game. Look what we missed here. This was
it was an exciting finish, but it was, I mean, you could tell from looking at the scores, it was not the high scoring game that people were expecting from two teams who, over the course of the season, were both high scoring teams.
Yeah, good point. Kind of makes sense though, right? They neutralize each other a little bit.
Kind of, yeah. You think,
but that comeback was insane. Like that was what, four
great.
or five scoring runs by Kansas City every time they had the ball. It was just nuts.
It was great. Yeah.
It's really good. I like me the football, but and so I was a little bit bummed. But also I played D&D, which was way fun, and I don't regret it at all.
Exactly. That's for you and me doing something while that was on. We have, again, the party was, we were basically just making bets on each play. We had a stack of dollars, and we were all doing like, all right, next play, if it's a pass, I'm going to say it's incomplete.
Wow.
And crazy neighbor bet against me, and it was just dollars going back and forth all night long.
That sounds like fun. Wash your hands is all I'd say after that.
They were greasy dollars.
Yeah, you don't know where those dollars have been.
Now let's also get this out on the table too. That at some point during the show today. Ooh, do you have suspense music?
Oh, I do. Let's play. Oh yeah, I totally do. Hold on. Wrong link. Okay, we're gonna play this right here. All right, Brian, tell us what's happening.
I like that. All right, so at some point today during the show, a couch will be delivered to my house that I will need to go up and meet the movers to let them in. Nobody else is home. It's just me right now. So now I am stop number 7 on the moving truck, the delivery trucks list. At the start of the show today, they were at stop number 1, then they were at stop number 2. Currently, they're at stop number 4.
Oh, they're on track, dude.
They're on track. So my window is from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So somewhere in that window, and I will just have to go, and I will say, couch, and I'll run.
When you go and you get to the door,
that's my safe word.
This is what you have to say to him at the door.
Hello there.
You're required to do that.
Hello there. This is my couch.
Please don't hit the walls. Be careful bringing that in. You can do all that.
That's right. Exactly.
All
All right. So
Well done.
at some point, you'll hear me out of the word couch, and I will disappear.
I'm excited. I
Like a
truly
football.
am.
Okay.
We're gonna add Ibbot. We're gonna have Dunaway come in now. Which
Let's do Dunaway.
Yeah, let's do Dunaway. Everybody should do Dunaway occasionally, and this is your chance to do Dunaway with us. That means we're gonna play Battle Royale. We're gonna do it in just a second, but first, this theme. Welcome to Battle Royale, everybody. A chance for us to give some prizes to some cool listener who has already called in. We'll find out who that is in a second. But first, we're going to welcome Brian Dunaway to the show. Hello, Brian Dunaway.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Hi.
Hi. Hi. It's
What? The theme you've got isn't enough. You need to create your own extra theme.
yeah. What's your deal there?
That's right.
Is
That's right. You're welcome.
Maybe you were just trying to. He was trying to do impression of it, just like he did that Baby Shark that one time, where he goes, "Baby
A
Shark."
baby shark.
dude."
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
You nailed
Baby
it.
shark. Do-do-do-do.
You nailed it. That's exactly
Baby
right. Hey, good to have you here,
I
buddy.
don't only not have rhythm, I don't even know what rhythm is happening right now.
Sure. Let me ask you this, because you
Yeah.
use the rhythm method. I understand. It's fine.
Right, absolutely.
Do you did you have any skin in the game yesterday because the Panthers weren't there, so you don't care? Or tell me how you felt about the Super Bowl. How you doing there?
Well, I was pulling for the Kansas City. Andy Reid has been around a long time, and I have a soft spot for that guy there. He always seems like a nice feller on the side of the
He is a nice guy. He's
sidelines
super nice.
there. So I wanted him to win one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you want to know?
The other guys they're young. It's a young team on the other side.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see this happen.
Let me tell you, and let me give you a little bit of this is. I always love Utah connections. You know I'm a fan, right? In fact, I'll play this.
The Utah Connection. Diabetes.
Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, that's even better, diabetes, because Andy Reid looks a little bit like Wilford Brimley. But anyway,
Kind of does, yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, winner from last night, first win for Kansas City in 50 freaking years in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. He is a alum of BYU. Went to BYU University from 78 to 80, where he was a teammate of Jim McMahon's, Tom Holmo. I always say that wrong. He graduated.
Very carefully. Yeah.
He graduated BYU in 81. Went on to do all this stuff. Anyway, he's great. Did stuff for the Packers, Eagles. I like the Packers. I like the Eagles. And now here he is with Kansas City. He is apparently the nicest, sweetest man. He has 9 grandkids. Like, he's a Utah boy through and through. So well done, Andy Reid.
But I was fine either way. It's been 25 years since San Francisco has won anything, and they're long overdue as well. But I was leaning just a little bit towards Kansas City.
Yeah, but you know what? San Francisco. Okay, so the last time they won. Hold on, let me play this.
The Utah.
Sorry, that was Steve Young, also
Young, yeah.
a incredible quarterback and dude from BYU. So Utah making it happen for the NFL this week. Well done, everybody.
That's hilarious.
All right.
And by the way, and Wilford Brimley even tweeted last night, thanks to Major Spoilers for putting this in the chat room, a photo of Andy Reid saying, "Supposedly I'm coaching this evening?" Question mark.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know he was tweeting. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I know Wilford Brimley tweets.
Also, he's another. Hold on.
The Utah.
He lives in Hurricane, Utah. He has a ranch down there. All right. Let's get on to this call. This person's been very patient. Let's find out who it is. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
It's Talia.
Oh, hi, Talia. Thanks for hanging in there.
Talia.
We appreciate
Talia!
it. Talia played with us in the stuff we did the other day. Brian, yesterday. The
You
thing.
played right.
What's it called?
She
The
was
play
in
date.
with us,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember which game she got in. Did you get in on the murder mystery party? Which one were you in?
First one, the weird phrase one.
That weird one that we couldn't figure out.
Balderdash against humanity.
Yeah, and I think Talia was
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
what
She was the one that did. I think you're the one that you didn't know that you were supposed to do a synonym for the next one, so you did another definition. So when it came up for synonyms, it said this big long definition, and we had a good laugh. It was a good time.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It turned into a really fun game.
If you guys missed out or feel like you missed out, don't worry. We do these monthly now, and we'll do another one at the end of February. So check that out.
For sure.
All right, Brian Ibbott, do you want to explain the rules, what they could win, and how this works?
Totally. So I'm going to give Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. Talia, your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for a Marvel 2-pack of prizes, a Hulk versus Abomination t-shirt, and a combat pin featuring Iron Man versus Ultron.
Whoa.
Pretty cool,
Oh,
actually.
a
An
combat pin.
unworn t-shirt
Yeah.
and still wrapped in plastic pin,
Wow.
courtesy of Marvel Comics.
Physical rewards, we call these.
Physical rewards. I'm going to ship something for a change instead of just copy and pasting a couple of game codes into an email.
Nice. This sounds really
Remember, I'm in
great.
Canada too.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh man!
It'll only cost.
Oh, you're
Those are
not in
small.
Canada. Oh, you are in Canada.
Those are small though. Those are tiny.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it'll still cost like.
yeah, I know. That's not the size.
Yeah,
Well, it's not the size. It's the
not the size. It's the distance.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get it, I learned something recently. If you can fit something in a 5x7 envelope or smaller, and it's flat, you're in good shape. It's like $1.50.
Well, yes.
But for
yes.
anything larger, you're hosed. So, good luck. We'll throw a little. Yeah, there you go. That's not going to fit in a small envelope. All right. All right. So,
So
who
if you
should?
win, Tolly, I'll send you a picture of it. If you decide you don't want it, then I'll give you some Steam game codes.
Nice. Give her a choice. I get
All
it.
right. Anyway, we can't do anything until I give you guys your topic. David Luzader, winner of America's Next Top Podcaster,
Oh.
season 2, sent in this one. Nintendo handheld consoles. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21 differently named Nintendo handheld / portable consoles.
Okay. All right.
I want to know. And
I want to know.
I want to know. I want to know how many of these you can name.
All right.
So let's see. Okay. Talia, who'd you like to go first and who do you think is going to win?
Who'd ya?
I think let's do Brian goes first, and I think Scott's gonna win. Don't let me down, Johnson.
All right. No,
All
don't,
right.
don't let me down.
Don't let me down, Johnson.
Johnson.
Don't let me down.
All right. Then you're first. Go for it.
Well, if we're going, let me make sure. This sounds like an easy question, so I always get worried
Yes.
about these.
Yes.
So Nintendo handheld / portable devices over how long of a time since the inception?
Since the inception, I will tell you that
Okay.
these things go from 1980 all the way to 2019.
Now I'm getting a little concerned. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the granddaddy of what I can remember. Well, the Game Boy.
The Game Boy, 1989. The Nintendo Game Boy.
Now I happen to know something about the
80.
the 1980 stuff that Brian's stressing about. I know a bit about all that. The question I have for you, Brian, is there's like series. Are we counting them
Right.
as separate?
Nope,
or...
just the main description of that series. How's that?
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna get it out of the way so I get. You know what? I maybe should hold it as my little. You know what? I'm holding it.
All right.
I'm holding
Okay.
it. Let's jump
I'm
ahead.
holding it. It's not
Everybody's
good.
holding
It's not good to hold it, Scott.
Let's do the Game Boy Pocket.
Game Boy Pocket, 1996. That Pocket unit came out.
Yep, I owned one. It was cool.
Game Boy Pocket.
Was it just the Game Boy smaller? Is
Yeah,
that
it was
the deal?
smaller and thin, and it looked like metal almost. You remember how the
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, was
Uh,
it called Pocket? I thought that was called. I thought it was called something else.
Oh, don't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Because
so-
there's another one
When
later
did
that's a lot
when did
like
it come out?
I don't know. 90. What'd you say, Brian?
The Game Boy Pocket, 1996.
Okay, so right before Carter was born. So that thing was it was a lot like the other thing I had at the time, which was a. Do you remember the? Oh, why can't I think of it? The Palm Pilot 5s. Do you remember those? They were all
Fives?
metallic and thin and
Yeah,
rad.
the, like brushed aluminum
Yeah,
case looking
I was
thing. Yeah.
super into that sort of thing then. So anyway,
Yeah.
all right, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
that's
Brian.
cool.
I thought you were talking about the game. Okay, so my guess is
It's
the
your turn,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, my guess is the Game Boy Micro because that
Game
was
Boy
like
Micro.
mid 2000 and something like that because we all got one for Christmas that year.
Yeah,
It
those
was
are cool.
indeed mid 2000s, 2005 to be specific. The Game Boy Micro.
That was a cool
I
thing.
gotta take a look at what that one looks like.
Now that was and you said the other one was a metal one. I don't remember that one at all. It's called the Pocket.
Yeah, the Pocket.
Pocket, and but wasn't the micro that was a GBA though, wasn't it? The micro.
It was not. It was not. It was not called a Game Boy.
Oh, I don't remember.
It was not called the GBA Micro.
Okay.
Without being very careful about not giving away what the A stands for.
You don't have to be too careful because I'm about to say that one anyway. My turn. Game Boy Advance is my next one.
Game Boy Advance, 2001. Game Boy Advance came out, and that was a side, like you held it to the side, or like it was side view as opposed to
horizontal,
screen on
not
top,
vertical.
buttons below. Yep.
And it was
that's the word. That's the way to say
it. And it had no backlighting in it, and that was awful.
It sucked. Yes. It was really the worst. Did y'all have the the light the light clip that attached onto it? That
right.
You had
the aftermarket. Absolutely.
Nico made them.
That
I think Nico was the brand I used.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
It was stupid.
Hated those things.
Added so much bulk to that stupid thing.
I know, it was dumb.
Right. Well, if you're going with the Game Boy Advance original, then I'm going with the SP, the clamshell that was a little bit nicer.
That was probably the greatest handheld they ever made.
Love that
by
one.
the way.
Love that one.
One of the greatest for sure. Yeah, the Game Boy Advance SP, 2003. I played the crap out of Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance SP. That was
it was a great
my
device.
Game on there.
Incredible device. I had the one that was. I still have it. It's I actually had 3 of them, I think, but one of them was the one I got. The kids got the other ones. Mine was the NES styled one.
Yeah, with the black and basically looked like an NES controller.
Yeah, and you close it, looked like an actual NES console. It was awesome. I love that thing.
Super cool.
Still holds a charge.
I just had a old silver one.
It was super cool, Brian. You're wrong. All right.
I'm just saying, super cool. A bunch of nerds.
So did you say the micro's out of the way?
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to tell you. No. Guess again.
Oh, I don't remember. There was a Japanese thing I don't remember that was only there. Are we counting that?
Yeah, if they released it, even if it was just Japan.
Well, I'll go with I don't want to be wrong, so I'll say let's get up to the DS line. So we'll say Nintendo DS, the original DS.
There you go.
2004.
Nintendo DS, 2004. Came with a little pen. You drew on the bottom half of it.
Yeah, it was a bulky, ugly device that they would soon rectify with the one Brian's probably about to say.
You better believe it. Next up is the Nintendo DS Lite.
Yes, Lite.
We like going light.
Yep.
Like Bud Light.
Yep.
A little bit more square instead of weirdly tapered and bizarre. The Nintendo DS Lite.
Probably my
and
second.
It was lighter.
Well, yeah, it was. I really liked that one. That was a good one.
No, DS Lite was an amazing console. Incredible,
Yes,
and that thing sold quadrillion billion units.
We had like 4 of them.
Did you? Yeah.
I think it's still the second highest selling console of all time, best selling handheld of all time, I believe. I think that still holds, and it may even be right up there with PS2 as far as best selling console of all time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they got to a point the price was really cheap on those things.
Yeah.
I think we were picking them up for like $150 or something or less. I say cheap, relatively cheap.
I want to say 09 or somewhere in that range. I picked up a Nintendo DSi, which had a store in it. You could get downloads and stuff.
That's right.
Internet compatible, the Nintendo DSi.
Did that have an extra camera too? It's like they had like a.
It had maybe just had a camera.
Maybe had a camera.
It had
That's what
a
it was.
camera. Yeah,
that's
it was
what
right on the hinge, right?
Yeah, at the top of the hinge, kind of like a MacBook or something. Yeah. A tiny little MacBook. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with this one got a lot of guff, but I really liked my Nintendo 3DS.
Oh,
3DS?
What guff?
Yeah,
No
2011.
guff. That thing's awesome. You kidding me?
Yeah, but a lot of people was like, "This 3D is stupid. Why do you even bother paying for it? I'm just gonna turn it off."
The 3D part is kind of stupid. It's a gimmick that kind of worked, but mostly didn't. So I agree with that criticism. But the actual platform killed it. It was great. Tons of games. It was amazing.
There was a great top-down, or maybe it was a 3/4 view kind of stealth game that came out with it, where to disable. Yeah, I mean it was almost like a top-down Solid Snake kind of game where you're stealthily traveling through a thing. You could hide behind barrels, but having that 3D and being able to see where the guys were coming. It was kind of
It
cool.
was pretty
right?
cool, yeah. Super Mario 3D
Yeah.
was really good on there. That Zelda game that was Zelda something, not Back in Time, whatever it was. That had really good 3D implementation. But most of the third-party stuff was pretty bad. With the 3D, I mean. The games, though, that thing had a hell of a library. Still does.
Meh.
It's great.
Meow.
All right, I'm going to stay DS for a second because I got a DSi XL back in the day as well.
DSi
Oh.
XL, the DeSixel. Yes.
Yeah.
Pixel.
Yeah, it's just a larger version of the Nintendo DSi. Bigger screen, same form factor, right?
Bigger, I think. Oh, that may be. I don't remember now. I have one upstairs. This is a reminder that I bought way too many Game Boys. Jeez, Louise.
I know. I'm realizing that I
right.
had all of these.
Yeah.
And it even had the DS game thing on the top of it, but it also had a Game Boy Advance thing on the bottom of it, so you could play Game Boy Advance games on it.
Yeah, that's true. They kept the backwards compatible thing stayed right up till. Well, so the 3DS I think played DS games, but not GBA games.
Right.
And then the Switch, which is technically the only other handheld they've done since 3DS, doesn't do any of it.
Spoiler.
Except, well, digital, but yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Oh, yeah. Oops.
Do you want to just say that one since...
Whose turn is it? Oh, it's Brian's.
it is Brian's,
Because
right?
I just did the
Yeah.
DSi XL.
My turn. It's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the 3DS XL.
I also have that one somewhere.
So I don't forget it because I'm like, I'm going to forget that one if I don't say it.
Right.
I was trying to put it in my
3DS
back
XL
pocket.
2012 was the 3DS XL.
XL.
I have a red one. That's actually of all these. I think that's the one I still have. No, I take that back. I think I've still got my.
Is that the one I sent you? I sold you. I sold
Not
you
me.
one.
Did you? No, I don't think you
Sold
sold
you
me one of
something.
those.
No, that was your
Yes,
that was
maybe
your
what-
sexual services. You sold them.
That's right.
You sold me your.
That's
sexual
right. I totally
services.
forgot. I totally forgot. You're
I mean,
right.
Come on, let's get it straight.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to say oh geez, my brain just went dead. Hold on. That weird 2Dification cheapo one for kids. The Nintendo 2DS came out
Oh,
2 years
yeah.
later. Yeah.
Yes.
I totally forgot about that one.
Yep.
So 2013, kind of a step backwards for
Right.
Nintendo, kind of.
Not really. It was the same
Well, at least-
device. It just didn't have 3D, and nobody cared.
It was
then.
at least in innovations, it was a step backwards, right? Like with stuff that they'd already done, but just made it so that it didn't fold and close up. And
It was basically it answered two problems. One, little kids aren't supposed to do much with 3D anyway. It messes with their eyes. And two, little kids break the hinges on these things all the time.
exactly.
So they got a device that was cheaper, got rid of the 3D, had no hinge to break, and was like a solid state freaking brick. And it sold well. It did good for that market. So
Yeah.
well done, Nintendo, I guess.
Yep.
All right, Brian.
Yes. Oh, is it my turn again?
Yeah.
It is your turn again.
All right. Then I am going to go with my current and the thing that I've been playing with, which is going to be the Nintendo Switch Lite.
My penis.
Okay.
Oh.
You got a light. Did you get a yellow light?
No, I got a blue. I got the turquoise
nice.
Switch. Yeah, and I have like a yellow gripper thing, so it kind of makes it really pop. It looks like a toy. I like it.
I got
The
a
Nintendo Switch Lite 2019.
Yeah, I got a yellow one because I wanted to be cool because yellow's cool.
Yellow's cool.
All right.
I want that Animal Crossing one.
We're gonna stay.
Oh, the
I
Animal
know,
Crossing
right?
version of the Switch
Uh-huh.
Lite.
And you can't. That's not a Switch Lite though. That's a full Switch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did say Switch Lite, didn't I? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a
the Switch.
That's a full blown like take it apart Switch version.
Yeah.
Would you guys just one of you please say Switch? Because
Version-
you've said Switch
version
11
two.
times.
Well, he did say
why don't you
Switch.
just say it?
Didn't he just say Switch? He said Switch. Oh, Switch
the
Lite
Switch
and
Lite.
Switch. All right, Switch. I'll
Right.
just say the Switch. There you
Good.
go.
Let's get it out of the way.
I was worried about saying the Switch though, because I was like,
Why?
I was waiting for it to go. Oh, but Brian, even though it is one of the handheld, it's not exclusively handheld. It's also a console. I'm
Oh,
sorry
it's-
you lose today.
Oh
So
no, it's
thanks.
still a portable. It's a portable that does both. So Nintendo
okay.
Switch absolutely
right.
fits in the handheld / portable
Sure.
camp.
Sure. All right.
All right, Nintendo Switch. Back over to Brian.
Yeah.
All right.
How's the couch thing looking?
This is one of the ones I've been holding in my back
see.
pocket.
Hold on,
What?
give me some
I'm getting an
suspenseful
update.
music, Scott. Let's
Okay.
see where they're at.
Hold on, let's get the update going. I can't find it. Shit. Hold on. There it is. Okay, whoops. Okay. Well, there we go. All right, what do we got?
Currently, the couch is at stop number 5.
Oh, there's
that's
two
you.
stops. 2 stops.
2 stops away.
Okay.
2
All right.
stops away.
All right. That's intense. That's an intense.
And it's
bit
funny,
of-
it shows my location. It does not show the like they give me a map, but really the map just shows my location. I bet it
Oh, I
updates
hate
as soon
that.
as they're between stop number 6 and my stop because they don't want to give
Those
away
things are pointless.
somebody else's address.
That's a good point. Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
okay.
back to you. Scott.
Brian. It was Brian's or me?
It's my turn.
Oh yeah, it's his turn.
Oh, it is Brian because you see.
Yeah,
you
'cause
finally
he
said
did
Nintendo
the Switch.
Finally, good. yes.
Yeah.
Good. All right,
I've been
Brian.
holding on this one in my back pocket because let me see. I'm
Because that's
trying to
where
go
it
back
fits.
down the list of all we've done, and we skipped one, and I was like, oh, well, good. Maybe Scott didn't think about saying it. Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Oh,
Game
right.
Boy
Said that one.
Color.
Yeah, I had that and played Mario Golf until my eyes bled.
Mhm.
I had that. I had the purple one and played a lot of Pokemon Trozai, which was their or was it Pokemon Pinball? It was one of the Pokemon games that wasn't about catching Pokemon. It was just a different game that happened to be Pokemon themed.
Oh, they like doing that sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
Game Boy Color, 1998 is when that guy came out.
Yeah, I enjoyed that little device.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, we're getting down
There
here.
aren't a lot left. Yeah, we're getting down to it.
Oh, very briefly, there was a device called the Pokemon Mini. My cousin had one of these. I think he actually got it from Japan, so I don't know if it ever showed up in the States. But the Pokemon Mini is absolutely a handheld from Nintendo.
It is absolutely handheld. It was designed and manufactured by Nintendo. It came out in 2001. Good enough for me. It actually did come out in the U.S. North
Oh, it
America,
did?
November 16th. Japan, December 14th. A month later, you'd think that if anyone's going to get it first, it's going to be Japan. But it's basically like almost like a little Tamagotchi thing.
Yeah, like a dedicated little Pokemon game.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was not on David Luzader's list, but I can confirm the Pokemon Mini qualifies as a Nintendo-produced.
Boy, that really puts
portable-
that puts the lose in Luzader, doesn't it?
Whoa! Whoa!
All right, Brian.
All right. So this is where I come because I feel like we've said all of them, and I just know there's going to be one that we didn't say. But
Okay. All right. Okay.
and then there's one in my head that I feel like they had one, but maybe they didn't.
Okay. Ooh, I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, oh my God, the 2D XL. Did they ever have one of those?
XL.
That sounds right.
I'm going to give it to you because
Okay.
the full name was the new Nintendo 2DS XL.
Oh,
Oh.
Came out in 2017. They just
right.
slapped the word new on the front of it and slapped the letters XL at the end of it. And it was the new Nintendo DS XL.
Okay, knowing that,
Uh-huh.
I believe that same year or roundabouts. I actually don't know the time. It doesn't matter, I guess. But they put the name new on another one. Let me just make sure I'm thinking of this right. Oof. Let's just say, because that was the 2D one. Let's say new Nintendo 3DS XL then.
They did come out with a new Nintendo 3DS XL in 2014, 3 years before the 2DS XL.
That is
So
some-
they slapped the word new on that puppy too, and I don't know what was new about it, but yes, indeed, the new Nintendo 3DS XL.
wow.
and that is all of the modern iterations that I can think of.
Yeah, we're getting there,
other
buddy.
than the questionable one, which had sort of portability to it, but I think you're going to shoot me down. I'm going to say the Wii U.
I'm gonna shoot you down. Yeah, the
Thank you very
Wii,
much.
the Wii U. Listen,
It
there
had
were parts of it
portability
that were
to it.
handheld.
I know
Yeah,
one
right.
more. Can I tell you the one I knew? Wait, before that.
This
Okay, so Brian.
Yeah, there you go. And I think you're going to say the one that you kind of held on to at the beginning, right?
Yeah, the 80s would have been the Game & Watch series, right?
That's exactly right. Nintendo Game & Watch, 1980.
Oh, the gaming watches. Oh, I do remember those.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Game and Watch or Watch.
And it doesn't list all the individual Game & Watch games there were, because I think you'd get one game on it, right? It wasn't like it was a there were no cartridges or chips or anything like that.
Right, there may have been a couple that just had a couple that used the same layouts, but basically those things were like whatever old digital watches used, like crystal display stuff, and then it had like the obstacles in the world were actually just drawn on the screen, but the watch would I mean, it's super rudimentary, but I have some fondness for those.
Did you have the Pac-Man watch? I know it's not Nintendo, but
no. Was that a thing? Could I get that?
Yeah.
Is that a deal?
Yeah, the Pac-Man watch.
I don't remember that. No.
Remember the Pac-Man watch?
Waka,
I don't remember the Pac-Man watch.
No, I don't remember that at all. All right, I don't. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say there are two more on this list that you guys didn't say.
Really?
There was a new Nintendo 3DS, not the XL, but just a new Nintendo 3DS. I don't know what it was. They just they put the word "new" on it. People bought it, and I think you might have been when you were talking about the Game Boy Pocket. There was also the Game Boy Lite, was the metallic looking one, the one that had the metal.
I thought that was the micro.
No, this one came out in 1998. It was released in Japan only, the Game Boy Lite, and I'm looking at this thing. It is really
the micro
cool
was
looking.
metal. The micro was metal like that too. It had like
was it also metal? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was just two different names for the same idea.
Yep, and the Virtual Boy does not count.
Yeah, I worried about that too. I thought about that for a minute too. I was like,
should it? I mean, it was it didn't attach to a TV. You played it. It was you held it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That one might count because if
that
the
one,
Switch, if the Switch counts,
I would have probably looked it up and just given it to you because it's like, yeah, it would have.
But was it bad? See, this is what the trick is. I'll bet you have to do it like this. Did it take battery power and could move independently from a cord? And if the answer is yes, it's a portable. If it's not, if it had to be hardwired into a wall for power or to a TV,
I would say the deciding factor was if it required a TV to play it.
Oh, interesting.
Like it was like you could play, but I guess you couldn't play the Virtual Boy like on the train or anything because you needed
power.
You needed constant power to it.
Yeah, and that makes it.
And the
not
Wii U
portable.
the Wii U didn't need a TV, so I mean.
Well, no, but it needed the console, which plugs into power, and you can't walk away from it.
Right.
So if you're tethered in any way, not portable is what I would say.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Well,
What if I put a battery pack with a converter
then it's
Wii U
then it's
and
portable.
a backpack?
Then it's portable.
Well, you could do that with a portable TV as well, and
Yeah.
take the Wii with you everywhere you go.
And that also makes you the weirdest guy on the train. Congratulations.
That's right.
This is what it makes you, though, our lovely listener, Talizarel.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
You've won. Here's all you got to do.
She's fallen asleep. I'm sure.
She's probably
right.
Yeah, probably conked out. How you doing over there, Tally? You all right?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
good. Nice and chill.
I took a hit while you guys were playing.
Nice. All you got to do is send Brian that old email, coverville@gmail.com. He'll hook you up. Your faith was well placed today. Nice job and well done.
I'll send you a photo of the shirt and the pin. You can decide if you want it shipped to or if you want something else instead.
Booyah.
And can I just point out that technically the GameCube had a handle. So.
That's true. If we're not if power doesn't matter, then that one is as portable as anything. So that's a fair point.
Anyway,
I love the design of that thing. Have a good one.
My favorite
of
all the Nintendo consoles has got to be the Game Boy. I mean GameCube. Yeah.
Form factor, yes, I'll agree with you there. Content, I'm probably going Switch, but I feel real strong about the GameCube. I like that device a lot.
I think if they gave us something that was a lot easier to, like, that little thing that the Switch comes with that you drop the dock basically.
Right.
If they made the dock a little bit more, I don't know, easier to pop over and connect to a different device. I mean, I guess it is. It's just an HDMI cable and a USB-C. But there's something about like having to flip that panel back and attach things and then run the wires. I want a little plug that
You're about a decade too late.
You know what you want? You want multiple docks for each TV. That's what you want.
That's actually what I want. Yeah.
You just want a dock on a TV.
That's right. I want the dock to be cheap enough that I can get just have one on every TV, and then just move the thing around.
Yes,
That's
and the
exactly
docks
what I
themselves are like $75, and it's a highway robbery because it's mostly plastic. I don't know what they're doing there.
Right. That's exactly.
Yep. That's what we want, Nintendo. Make it happen. Dunaway, well done. I feel like that was a good win-loss today. You knew everything up to a point, and it just was that one Game & Watch thing that I knew that took it. So well done, everybody. Dunaway, later today at 3:30 Mountain Time, you and I will be sitting down talking about video games in a modern day.
Yeah, Will.
I'm excited about that. Anything else you want to tell the fine folks before we go here today?
I'm starting a new comic about a can and a guy.
You bastard! I knew it. If I wasn't okay, no, I'm just kidding. Hey,
Frank and Pepsi.
Do you remember when I did that original one back in 06? If anyone would remember, you would. Like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I remember I was always
because you wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, and I think I show back then I would show Dunaway every new little dumb thing I was working on. So we were always like back and forth, and I remember him even at the time saying, "Oh, that's pretty, nobody else is doing that. You should do that." And then I just lost track of it. So now it's time. FredCanComic.com, another plug.
There you go.
All right, Dunaway, have a fantastic day. He's the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. And again, back here at 3:30 Mountain Time for a live Boop Show, which you can find at frogpants.com/BOOP. Be good. We'll see you later. Bye.
I did kickstart a device called the Genki, Genki, which is a little covert dock for the Switch, and it basically just plugs into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
There's a USB-C cord that comes out of it, and an HDMI that let's see, you connect the Nintendo to the USB-C, and then there's an HDMI display that comes out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, pocket size, just plugs into a wall.
Wow. That seems great, doesn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Also, we want wireless technology to get to a point where docks mean nothing. We just wirelessly just
like,
connect
foo,
everything. Yeah.
Just foo it to your TV. Disturbed Angel says, "Isn't the dock at Best Buy like $30?" No, that is for their Insignia Nintendo Switch dock. That if you look around online, you find a bunch of people who say that thing has bricked their Switch.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't brick your Twitch or don't brick your Switch. or your Twitch. I mean.
Or yeah, exactly.
Don't
do that either.
Yeah, you do that by putting some kid's phone number out in the wild. Then you brick your Twitch. All right. What now? What do we do now? Let's
a little quick music break. I guess we don't do news.
Yeah, we're not doing the news. We're not doing the news.
Because the news is brought to you by, do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I never finished it.
Never finished that, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. Go to therewillbedungeons.com. All right.
Like gladiator movies?
Let's play a song, take a break. When we come back, Steven will be here, a little bit of Daryl after that, and we do have a mashup today. Plus, we never know, but Brian might be getting his couch any minute now. So, Brian, tell us our song.
Anytime. That's right. Oh, let's give an update. Suspenseful music.
Okay, here it is. Whoops, I copied it over. Where did it go? Here we go.
The couch is currently still at stop number 5.
Okay. Oh no! They found some old lady who needs it in a weird place. Oh no!
Yeah. Who knows? Yes, exactly.
Oh, I didn't move my cat's litter box. Let me move that over so you can put the credenza right there.
Oh, there's the other cat. He's been dead for months. Okay, well, let's move that.
Oh,
like it's
this door doesn't open wide enough for you to deliver. Oh no.
This house was built in the 20s with a narrow door problem. All right, go ahead.
We're going up to Eugene, Oregon, to a group called Cigar. They are a West Coast punk rock group, although I'd say they're more along the lines of Queens of the Stone Age, and maybe Sum 41 kind of style. These guys are great. They're coming out with a brand new album called Bridge City Sessions. And their single that they've released from that is called We Used To. Here's the band Cigar.
This has been a public service announcement from the Food and Drug Administration in cooperation with this station.
There are no Z-rays.
You fat slob. Let's see if you've got any guts. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Thank you for being here still. We appreciate it. All right. We'll bring in Steven and then see how it goes for you on that end. If he shows up, or if your couch shows up while Steven's on. Perfect timing, actually. That'd be a great
It would
time,
actually be perfect because, you guys can chit-chat while I deal with the couch. Although, still at 5, we might get the show wrapped up before they finally show up here. It really depends on how close stop 6 is to my house.
Yeah. Stop 5 is a real bugger. They're just
stop 5. Always get held up at stop 5.
Always trouble.
Steven.
Welcome to the program. One Steven Schleicher from Major Spoilers and from the Kansas town of Hayes, where they're celebrating their Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's not correct.
No,
it's the others.
Hello. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Brian.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. How are you?
I just started a new Kickstarter today for a comic that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's about a guy and a sack of sentient sack of beans.
Oh,
excellent.
Wow.
That sounds great.
It sounds so weird.
It's called Jack and Beans.
That's a pretty good name, actually. It's not bad.
Yeah. Jack and Beans.
Fred and Can are embarrassed by your new name. Well, it's good to have you here, Steven.
So let's make this clear. There is a Kansas City, Kansas. There's also a Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
It's easy to get those two confused, but all intelligent people know that the Chiefs are a Missouri team.
Yeah. If you know anything about football or whatever, that's where Kansas City Chiefs are based. They're not based in Kansas. Now,
also the Kansas City Royals, that's a Missouri team.
Yeah. Now, the reason people got after me yesterday saying that because the whole reason I'm making a big deal out of this is, and it's not a big surprise, but Trump did a tweet after the win that congratulated them, which is great. The president's great. It's great when they do that with football. It's great. He says that, but then he says, you've made the great state of Kansas very proud and the whole country, right? And then he deleted it, and 11 minutes later put up another tweet that changed it to Missouri. Now, what that tells me is he has no idea. And that's okay. That's fine. He doesn't have any idea. But why I don't understand people or people that are going, oh, it's just a tiny mistake. You guys are too worked up. Hold on a second. A week ago, the mega chuds were losing their mind because somebody suggested on a panel on a talk show that he couldn't point out Ukraine on a map. And then some days after that, Pompeo, our freaking Secretary of State, got in a shouting match with an NPR reporter and had one of his aides run out to the car, get a world map, bring it back in, then made her point on the map where Ukraine is. And she did. So if they're going to go nuts about nobody knows where Ukraine is, or you're going to freak out because we said that, and then he literally does the thing about the United States, one of the states he's in charge of, and he doesn't know, that's why it's funny. Okay?
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
Agreed.
Stoic Squirrel asked, does Kansas, the state, have any professional teams? Yes, it's Sporting KC. The best football team in the state of Kansas is Sporting KC.
There you go.
So they've actually probably won more national things than the Chiefs have. So there.
So then, I got to tell you this little side story. Today, a guy who listens to The Instant says to me, he says, Scott, I love you. And even though you and I don't agree on a lot of things.
That's always how it starts, too.
Yeah.
Brian, I love you.
I love you, but.
Yeah.
And then he says, this coming from someone who has a World of Warcraft show, but doesn't remember all the towns and cities and names all the time.
Oh, jeez.
You're
not the president of Azeroth.
I'm not the president of anything. I make a dumb show about a video game. I am not the president of the United States. I don't need to know that kind of geography in a fake world or the names of everything. It's not my job to do that. So that's the worst comparison I've ever heard. And he was so smugly like, what do you think of that, man?
Like he dropped the mic after he
come on, dude. It's not even a hard one. All right, Steven, enough of that. Let's talk about nerd stuff. Nerd things.
Yeah.
So Birds of Prey is in theaters this week. And
it is.
Do we have any early word, like any reviews or thoughts or whatever?
I don't know. They did the premiere the other day. I'm going to guess the embargo for the movie will lift on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll find all the reviews then for anyone who has seen it. But no word yet. And I don't really go to the Rotten Tomatoes site to see what anybody thinks about that, because frankly, I don't care. If I want to see a movie, I'll go see a movie.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see, Birds of Prey. Oh yeah, no score. You're right. Anyway, it's heavily rated R, right? Super rated R. Lots of violence and.
I don't remember if it is or not.
Says R, I think.
Let's see.
Hold on. Yeah, rated R for strong violence, language throughout, and some sexual and drug material. Okay. All right. Yeah. You got the
what? Sexual and drug material?
You got Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I like her a lot.
Oh, I like her a lot.
Yeah. Journey Smollett Bell, Ewan McGregor. He dives in. He tries to get some drugs out of a toilet. It's a great scene. And then Rosie Perez. We haven't seen her since White Men Can't Jump, or I don't know. She probably did other stuff.
I think we have, but
yeah, probably. Anyway, it looks like it might be a fun. I mean, how much connection does this have to the other one? What's it called?
To the Joker movie?
Movie.
Or to the Suicide Squad? I would say very much so, considering that this is the same character and she has been dumped or broken up with the Joker from the previous movie and is breaking out on her own. So yeah, it's definitely set in the Suicide Squad universe.
Okay. And then I mean, the fact that they're going R, that last thing was PG-13. This seems more in keeping with that. I watched some of the animation,
if that's pretty
that blew my
mind. R-rated.
Yeah, I was surprisrised by that. It was I couldn't get used to it actually, because the style of animation just looks like that typical DC, like Batman's 1990s Batman kind of era looking stuff, Bruce Timm style, kind of. And yet she has just got the worst potty mouth. Like everybody in that thing is just saying the worst things on in this cartoon. It was like blowing my mind. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, there was another movie that came out a few years ago. I think it was called Batman and Harley Quinn. I forget. They team up, but that one also was hard. I mean, it was hard R just in a lot of the things that they were doing and saying in that. So
yeah, weird.
They're not afraid to go into that direction for their animated movies. So
do you ever see? I mean, can you imagine outside of? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Deadpool because we haven't seen yet since the switchover, but I can't imagine Disney Marvel doing much in that vein, especially animation wise. They're never going to do that.
I think Ryan Reynolds said that they were committed to keeping an R rating on these, but who knows?
I could see him keeping it there because it's a thing, and either you don't make any or you keep going this way. There's no other way, right?
And I talked about this a few weeks ago on my Friday show, Finally Friday, that we do live, that Disney really has a way to kind of separate themselves. I mean, it used to be Hollywood Pictures and it used to be Touchstone Pictures were a way to say, here's two film companies that people may or may not know that they're Disney.
Right.
Many people probably know that Marvel Studios is Disney, but now that they've dropped 20th Century Fox, they could just say that it's the Fox name. They could just say it's 20th Century Studios or Searchlight Pictures, which is the other one. And people probably wouldn't even know that those were Disney.
Yeah, that's a
so
good
they
point.
can still keep Deadpool and all that stuff over at 20th Century.
Yeah, kind of like they used to do in the 80s. They used to do this 80s and 90s with Touchstone Pictures, right? Like same thing.
Yeah, Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures.
Right. You were like, oh, this is Disney, but it's a little saucy, so they don't want their name on it. Right. So yeah,
that's the smartest thing for Disney to do. Will they do that? Probably not, and they're going to piss a whole bunch of people off.
I would like to just see what the buzz is on this and see if this is any good. So
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it on Saturday just to see if it's good. I did see a little clip that had me a little concerned that maybe the action wasn't as intense as the trailer led us to believe, but that could have just been a kind of a behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. Let's talk about Life. Oh, and there's some comics coming along too, right? That are going to
support
this?
So if you are going to any of the Regal cinemas to watch this movie, you will be getting free comic books. You'll get a free comic book of the very first Harley Quinn series from, I want to say this is the 2016 series that DC put out. So they will be distributing 75,000 copies of this special printing of Harley Quinn that you will be able to get, I think, for free. I mean, you got to buy a ticket first, so you just can't walk in and say, hey, I would like my comic book, please.
Right.
You have to buy a ticket for the movie. But you'll be able to pick those up. So that's a pretty good deal. It's something that I have been talking about for well over a decade now, that this is a win-win to get people into reading comic books. Is if you got a comic book movie, give them the comic book. And we'll see if this has any kind of major impact in comic book sales going forward.
This should be your sister site, Major Impact. should do that.
we did have at one point, we had minor spoilers, and that was the site where we just covered the really small publishers.
Oh.
But then like 3 of the small publishers, Archie, Boom, and Dynamite, all moved up to gold status, gold premier publishers. So now they're up into the major category now.
Interesting. I don't remember you doing that, but that's
it was just a little side thing.
Nice. I like a little side
It
thing.
ran for about 3 or 4 years.
All right, let's talk about this life-size baby Yoda coming from Sideshow Collectibles.
Everybody wants them some The Child merch.
Look at
And
that
here's the
thing.
thing, Sideshow Collectibles does put out some really great, realistic looking product. Whether that be the 1/6 scale action figures of Captain America or Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker or whatever it may be. They also have a line of full-size figures. So if you wanted to get a full-size Princess Leia like the one that I have at my house, or a full-size Darth Vader, or a full-size Han and Carbonite, you can get those, but they're going to set you back anywhere from $3,000 to $20,000.
Wow.
They have coming out on pre-order now, supposed to come out sometime between August and October of this year. They have a life-size version of the child, complete with little fuzz on top of his head, real clothing. It is life-size, but because it's so small,
It comes with the knob,
it comes with the steering knob. Yeah,
the steering knob.
Here's the best part: $350.
Wow.
That
It's
is
not
in
bad.
line with their 6 scale. That's in line with their 6 scale figures. So
This
if
thing
people
does
are,
look really good too.
it does. It really does. This, the pictures that they have taken outside, you would swear this is what they used in the
Oh,
Mandalorian.
yeah, they look
TV
like
show.
promo shots from the show, or like actual shots
Yeah.
from the set. It's crazy.
Now it's not posable, and it looks like it does come on a stand. So that may be the 2 drawbacks. But if you are looking for a life-size The Child that is authentic to what you see in the Mandalorian, not these weird Funko versions or some weird stuffed version, I would be pulling out my credit card right now, and I might still. $350 is a steal for this life-size Baby Yoda figure.
That's not bad. I do wish you could have him in the holding his cup pose. His little.
Yeah, that would be nice too. That would be the only thing, and I'm sure that there are a lot of concessions because I know that there are some other companies. In fact, Disney's already got a bunch of Baby Yoda merch out at the Star Wars land.
Yeah.
But I think some of those might be posable as well. But
$350.
I'm just gonna go to the Disney store, pick up a Stitch about that size, spray painted green.
Hey, this is not a bad solution there. You got. Plus, you already like Stitch, anyways. Your favorite
I already
Disney
like
character.
Stitch. I mean, you look at Stitch and Yoda, Baby Yoda, and they're
very similar.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, look at them. Both cute, both rambunctious.
I think I'm gonna paint. This is when I 3D printed. I think I'm gonna paint.
Is that
it
on
to
your
look like
resin?
Stitch? Yeah.
Is that your resin printer? Is
Yeah,
that stuff
that's the resin.
smelly? How smelly is your resin?
No, it's the uncured stuff is very toxic smelling. So you will
Okay.
want to
Put it out in the garage or something.
Put it out in the garage or in a room that you can put some ventilation in. It's not, it's not going to kill you, but it's just.
Yeah, my 3D printing room right now is in the furnace room, and I don't want to put a resin printer in there if that's just going to suck those fumes all throughout the house.
and distribute it all over the house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's hilarious.
That'll kill you. Well, that's very nice. I want one of these. There's no way I'm spending $350 for it, but I want one. I really do.
I mean, if you look at, like I said, they're 6 scale figures, which are, again, highly detailed, articulate, all that stuff. That's the same price range. So if you're into that thing, which I know you're not, Scott, but if you were, then $350 is really a steal.
If I was into that, yes, it is a steal, especially compared to some of their other stuff. They're sold out, right? Like you're screwed.
No, that's pre-ordered right now. So you can order now, and my guess is they're going to make however many are pre-ordered plus 10%.
Exactly. Okay. All right.
If they don't, they're dumb.
And I guarantee you, though, if you do not pre-order, you will not get one.
Yeah. Like, how dumb do you think they would be, Brian, if they didn't do that? That would be super dumb. Like,
it'd be super dumb. It's like, we've decided we're only going to make 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
Well, but
3,000 people pre-ordered them.
Yeah.
They may. I don't know how their distribution deal or their licensing agreement goes. They
Oh,
may
sure.
only be able to do one run of these.
Mhm.
So after the pre-orders are gone, they can't make any more after that, right?
Yeah.
So I'd honestly say people who are fans of the child, aka Baby Yoda, I would get on this.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to grab one?
I might. I got to look. We got to pay. Still the roof and the siding still from the last year. We're dealing with insurance with that. And then I've got another project that I'm working on after I built that virtual cabinet, the arcade cabinet. I've got another project I want to work on, and it's significantly more expensive than the child. So I'll probably not get this.
Yeah.
2 weeks after they close orders on this one, they'll announce another one that is posable.
Probably.
And comes with a cup.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or they'll say, for $350, you get this one and the one where he holds the cup. You get two.
Right. He actually takes the knob from your steering.
That would be just your luck.
Shift.
Just your luck.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen, this is all good stuff. Oh, one final note, and I'm sure this will come up with Daryl. I'm not sure, but if you want to watch the Picard thing and you're like, I don't know about this all access thing I got to pay for, they have the first episode up on YouTube now, so you can watch that.
Right.
now.
And it's the official, so it's the CBS All Access YouTube channel. You can watch it all in its entirety. Now, they did say that it was for a limited time, so my guess is, I don't know what episode 2 just came out, so my guess is before episode 3 comes out, you might want to watch that on YouTube for free.
No way, they're going to let me taste it for free so I spend the money when I'm hooked? Oh,
Yeah.
how nice of
right?
them.
Yeah, how not right? They're really thinking of you, Brian, the watcher at home.
They really are,
Yeah.
yes.
They want you to know how much they love you.
The couch is at stop number 6.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's one stop before yours.
It is.
Yeah. Hold on. Whoops. All right. Said get one of those
Number
then.
6.
Yeah. Stop
Today's
number 6.
episode of the morning stream brought to you by the number 7.
By the number
Do
7.
you guys have American Furniture Warehouse in Kansas?
We have something like that up in
I
Kansas
figured-
City, Kansas.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have something like that.
I figured I don't know how much of the country is under Jake Jab's umbrella, but
Yeah, I think we have something like that. It's a nice place.
It's very, very cool when you get a new piece of furniture. I love that feeling of getting that.
Yeah.
So take a nap on it and tell us how it is.
I totally will. You kidding me?
Yeah, heck yeah. Put your feet up. All right, Steven, always a pleasure. Majorspoilers.com is the place to go. You can also follow him on Major Spoilers on Twitter. What would be one final piece of advice you would give to the listeners right now?
Stay hydrated.
Excellent idea. We'll see you later.
Can't argue with that.
All right, between deliveries 6 and 7, we add Daryl Skeels to the call, and we see if. Oh, he's not even online. I don't know if this is gonna work.
So I'm guessing that that it changes as soon as they're done with delivery number 5. It changes to say current service team currently is at stop number 6. Like they might not be at stop number 6.
Oh, good
but
point.
they're on their way to stop number 6.
Good
Because I don't
point.
think they'd say, yeah.
This is how they do it with the like if there's an additional food stop between you and.
there we go.
Oh, hi, Daryl.
Wow.
They do this with DoorDash as well. Like they don't.
Oh, right.
If they've done somebody else, you actually only know that once they're on their way to you.
Correct.
I think is how it works. Hey, let's play this for Daryl.
Hello, and welcome to Star Trek Adventure.
It's kind of fruity, isn't it?
It's Daryl Skeels from the Trek show called This Week in Trek. He's a Star Trek guy. Loves Star Trek. Daryl, what's going on?
Oh, not much.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. Hey, we kind of already blew the spoiler that Picard episode 1 is free on YouTube, but we should probably
Yeah, I
reiterate
think it's
that.
only for a couple days, so hurry.
So why don't do you think they'll rotate these out and like 2 will be up there a week after 2 airs on the main thing? And
No, I think this is just to hook you in, and
okay,
if you don't do it, if you don't subscribe, you're screwed.
so basically exactly what Brian said. They're just
Yeah.
trying to get you with the taste, and then
The handle is free, but the razors will cost you.
Raisels.
The
It's
raisels.
gotta
Or the
give you
raisins.
some raisels.
Or the raisins.
I
The
love
raisins will cost you.
the California raisins. They were dancing and they were great. All right, let's get your quick. Now, I haven't seen episode 2, so no spoilers, please, because I'm just behind. And my internet problems really screwed me up over the weekend. But I'm going to probably watch it today. How'd you feel about episode 2?
It raises a lot of questions, and I thought it was okay, but it was mostly like a utility type episode to make you ask. Yeah, it makes you say that. It makes you.
Now,
Okay,
do you
well,
hope?
shoot.
Let me ask you this, because Picard, by its nature, because he has to get back into this role and go solve a problem, by its nature, it has to be kind of serialized, right? There has to be a story week to week. You may have moments of interest that are outside of the realm, but mostly it's going to be a big 9-episode arc for the first season or whatever.
It's a 10-episode movie. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so a 10-episode arc. So do you hope for future Star Trek stuff where we talked about, we talked about this last week. Another crew on another, a whole like a real full blown like here's a brand new Star Trek in the future. Do you hope Star Trek ever gets back to, occasional notes of carryover, but mostly a week to week, monster of the week kind of thing?
Yes.
You do prefer that. You would like that, would you?
Yeah, because I want to go back and watch just random episodes and think, oh, remember that one about this, and go watch it.
I feel like
you can't really do that this way.
I feel like I agree with you, even though I think everybody thought, oh, this new world of, and I don't know when it started. Lost was a big prime example, but we really moved away from episodic and turned to this.
X-Files did that great job of like doing a mix, right? They'd have Monster of the Week or Supernatural Thing of the Week, but then there were stories that were just overarching, like Cigarette Smoking Man, what's his deal? And
right.
Was Mulder's sister really stolen and stuff like that?
And even Star Trek did that, but they did it in ways that's like, oh, we've been introduced to Deanna Troy's mother. Okay, she's a pain in the butt. Anyway, see you later. Now we're 12 episodes later. Oh, her mother's back and something's seriously wrong. So you can bring in these like long threads. Picard's Borg stuff haunted him for a bunch of episodes. There's ways to do that still without losing that kind of episode of the week. And the reason I think I like it in Star Trek to have a monster of the week or a problem of the week that gets announced and solved in the same hour is that it's like it's a forward-thinking way of thinking about this crew. They're good. They're awesome. They figured this stuff out. They don't have a bunch of existential angst always, chasing behind them. They're just like, we're out here, we're doing a thing. What's that anomaly off the starboard port? Oh, no, shit. We got to deal with this crystalline entity for the next 10 minutes. Like, just go do stuff, get stuff done, and move on to the next star date. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
And you can... I like that each episode can be about a different thing or a different topic, and even have a different feel, or be a comedy, or be a drama, or be something else.
Right. Yeah. DS9 was another good example. Some people mileage may vary on how much you like DS9, but the whole thing with the port or the wormhole and the prophets and the Bajoran freaking bumpy nose people and all the stuff they were doing in there, that was like your carry through, right? That was always like your thread.
Your through line.
But they still got to do Thing of the Week, and I don't know, I miss it.
I like Thing of the Week, yeah.
Yeah, I miss it.
They had, on Deep Space Nine, they had a lot of arcs that carried over, and there are arcs within arcs, and long arcs, and short arcs. So you might be able to watch 3 episodes and have a whole story right there.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if maybe they could do this with one of the other things they're doing this, or maybe they are going to do this, like the Below Decks or Below Decks, I guess, is going to be comedy, but maybe with one of these other projects that they've got in the works, could be that thing. I guess Orville kind of did this. They stuck to the Star Trek Thing of the Week formula, problem and resolution, all in one.
That's true. I mean, it does exist. It can exist, and certainly anthology television, with its big comeback with I can't think of the name of the Stephen King one, Castle Rock, and all that stuff. They're doing it in a way, and also carrying some threads through the entire season. So I don't know. That's obviously a different thing. Like,
right.
They are by their very nature, they are a story a week. But I don't know. I like to return to that a little bit, and hope to see more of that.
It could be coming. We don't know what those 2 unannounced things are.
That's true, but we do know the names of the next 3 episodes. Episode 3 is called "The Ending of the Beginning." Sorry, ending is the beginning.
The end is the beginning.
That's when they do like a human centipede on the ship, right? Is that the deal there? The end is the beginning.
Be a circle jerk.
Wrong title. Okay. 4 is Absolute Candor. Or Candor.
Candor.
Which I hope is a person's name. So he's just
what was the name of the city in a bottle that Superman has? Is that the City of Candor?
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember that. And then so now it's a vodka bottle with Candor in it.
That's right. Oh, it's with a K though. That one is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you got 5th episode, Stardust City Rag, which sounds like a song probably, or a
yeah,
it does,
something like that,
or an old rag.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my fall lights.
Wesley, shut up and get off the bridge.
The couch is currently on its way to stop number 7.
That's awesome. That
I have
leaves
to ask you about couches later because I need a new one.
Oh,
okay. You think I really like? Is there any advice that I'm going to be able to offer?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe you know stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
I thought I did research, but I was wrong.
Do any of these give you, Daryl? Do any of these give you hints as to what they're about, or no?
No, and I don't want to know. There's trailers out there for these, and I'm not going to watch them.
Oh, really? Okay. I do want to watch them. I think I do. I don't know.
There's some setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some. 7 of 9 comes back in episode 4.
Right. We saw her in the previews. So I was wondering when Jerry Ryan's going to make her appearance.
Right. Because she's not there in this new one, is what I was told this second episode. So I was like, when are they doing that? Did we get to Troy and Riker yet, or are they not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It was kind of an uneventful second episode, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Do you think Worf ever shows up?
Oh, you never know.
Other than in the news recap before his interview in episode 1, they showed a scene where he was standing there with Worf doing some stuff with the Klingon Nation or whatever. So it's a brief shot of Michael Dorn. But it would bum me out if he's not in this at all, because hasn't it been Michael Dorn for the last 20 years that's been the most vocal about bring Trek back and make it about my character. Bring Worf back.
Yeah. He wanted Star Trek Worf.
Yeah, which I would have totally been into, except it was a different kind of Worf, and all they did was hang around and buy cotton candy and watch fireworks.
Talk to a can of expired cream corn.
Yeah, nobody wants that. All right. So, all right. Well, this is good though. I like knowing names. I love the lead up. I also I'm as much as I like binging things, I like this week to week thing kind of. I like to not know and then get in there and then talk about it, and it's fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Plus, it means you get to be on every Monday because there's always something to talk about.
Yay.
We should start.
I would also. I've been into The Expanse. I'm an insane fan of The Expanse.
It's so good.
How far are you through The Expanse?
Getting toward the end of the 3rd season.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Four stars. I've only started 4, but it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed season 3 too. You know, people said it was slow, and I found it to be entertaining and just really good world building. You know, we got answers to things that we.
Sure. You know what I think? This is what I think about season 3. There's a cognitive dissonance going on with fans. I think because that was the final season and it was canceled as it was running on Sci-Fi. I think a lot of fans saw that and were like, well, they're just going to half-ass it. And then it expired there, and Amazon announced the pickup, and then they were like, ooh, season 4 is coming back. I think people artificially think it was bad because the show was canceled and they have negative feelings about that. I really do.
I think you could be right, yeah.
I think you're right, because I watched season 1 back in the day, and when I heard that it was canceled after season 3, I said, oh, well, this isn't going anywhere, and I just stopped.
Yeah, then you just feel like, well, what's the point? And if you're a super fan, it's even more painful because you're like, well, this is never going to happen again, and you just feel bummed about it. And I think that affects people's way they see things, but I could be wrong. I'm no expert. I'm not winning.
But it's back and going great, so...
Yeah. But I want to see Worf. So hopefully hopefully Worf shows up in this thing.
The pirate Klingon.
It would be great if he showed up and he's like in some, I don't know, like super high Klingon guard in charge of shit thing. Because aren't the Klingons all mad at us again in this timeline? We're at war with them again or something? Or something's going on.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. Are they?
I don't know.
Maybe I missed something.
I don't know.
Not to my knowledge.
Maybe. Oh yeah, he's in Star Trek Online. That's true. I could totally go play that. All right, Daryl. Well done. Good stuff as always. Daryl's the Trek Nerd on Twitter, and you can find him there. Argue with him about stuff. It's always fun. If you're a Trek fan, make sure you check out him and Mike on an episode of their This Week in Trek. You can find that at thisweekintrek.com. They're covering all the Picard episodes as well as other things, all things Trek, over there. Daryl, anything else you want to say?
That's about it. Ga, ga, ga.
Okay. Have fun at your top secret job. All right. Brian, are they there? Did the truck pull up? Yeah.
Not yet. I've got my outdoor camera right there. I keep looking over. I'll see movement, and I'll go, oh, what's here? And I'll run. But
all right.
I think I can still hear the mashup before I have to run.
Well, then let's do it. Here's a mashup from Jamie. This is technically a bonus, but I think it's as good as any full mashup. This one is Brian Ibbett Impressions. Ready?
Oh, boy.
Go.
Yeah, well, the story of Christmas actually is pretty. honey badger. Going to ship my honey badger. I hope your food's still hot. I delivered it from 1925. No, you've got to take the lap. You can't do a partial lap, George.
Did you take the lap?
Did you take the lap?
I took the lap, Jerry. I took the lap.
There was no time to take the lap, Jerry.
And then he goes,
On the field
upon
of
the
gold,
field
and then
of
you
gold,
go
the
to
gold
the-
of field.
I am an Englishman in New York.
You don't have to turn off the red light. Roxanne.
Who turned off the red light? It wasn't me. Who turned off the red light? It wasn't me. Billy, you've been a very bad boy. I'm going to poop on your plate of cookies and piss in your milk. Goodbye.
Oh, great. That's really weird.
Would you like to come over to Buckingham Palace and shag? Maybe come over for a snog and some tea?
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus.
What are you going to ask for from Santa Claus this year?
You better be good, or he will bring you a dirt shit.
So maybe it's just me. Maybe I have to flush 15 times because of all the hamburgers that I'm eating. Drinking it down with a big glass of covfefe.
Yeah.
You like that one? How about this one?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling when you let one of those go.
Dutch oven. I did a Dutch oven. It says,
Can you say Dutch oven? The thing about Dutch ovens is they don't really come from Amsterdam. You can make one right here in your own home.
just have a blanket and your significant other, and then you fart in the blanket. And then you hold them down so they can't get out. What do you think, Mr. McFeely?
It's I like every part of.
Love, could you please peel this banana for me? Banana.
The one time we have an Australian, Brian does a British accent.
Oh, he's a New Zealander. Oh, he is an Australian.
He's Australian.
I thought he was a New Zealander, and it still wasn't a New Zealand accent. I love, come here, could you peel this banana?
That's good stuff. Nicely done, Jamie. As always, TMS Mashups on Twitter. He's great. He's taking a little bit of a break, so we're playing all his bonuses these Mondays.
Yes.
And he deserves it. He's kicking butt. All right. Still no truck, eh? Still
No truck. That's okay. Let's see. It's funny. They show a map. I was thinking that as soon as they left stop number 6, I'd see their truck on a map.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can see, oh, they're 4 blocks away, but no, it's just, it shows it basically shows a push pin where I live. I know where I live. I don't need to see a push pin of where I live.
Yeah. No.
Show me where the truck is.
Yeah, don't show me where I am. Show me where you are.
That's right.
I know where I
Exactly.
am.
Yes.
What if he's getting Pokemon on the way? That's what's holding him up.
Good. I hope he does. Maybe he wants to trade something.
You have something to talk about.
Give me a couch and a Blaziken.
So a reminder here, folks, that we do this show out of the goodness of our hearts and a very low ball Patreon. And it's so cheap to get in. My gosh, you can get in for $1 a month. It's just insane. And it gets you so many benefits. You get to play with us during the Patreon Playdate. You get to be a part of the TMS PM episode that happens on Fridays, 3 Fridays a month, where you get a free episode only if you're a patron. I guess it's not free because you paid $1 to get in, but hey, whatever. It's a great way to get great extra content and cool stuff in the mail, all kinds of levels at patreon.com/TMS. That's patreon.com/TMS.
That's right. There are also lots of flavors that you can get.
There are many flavors that you can get.
That's right.
Oh, and that's actually a good reminder. One of the things you get is access to a bunch of the clips I've done over the years. So just a huge pile of little MP3s you can use for your phone or whatever. That's just one of the many benefits that we throw out nearly for free.
And yes, Talia, we will have patron roles in the Discord figured out before the next play date to make all that stuff easier.
Correct. That's going to happen sooner than later, like probably today or tomorrow. So watch for that. All right. themorningstream@gmail.com is how you can contact us. If you have any questions or thoughts or feelings, you can visit our website at frogpants.com/TMS. And one more little pimp for myself. Nope, sorry. Little promotion for myself. Head on over to frogpants.com and you'll see it there. Or you can go straight to fredcancomic.com and check out the new comic strip. That's right. Every Monday, Fred and Can. What adventures will Fred and his sentient can of creamed corn get up to this week? Only you'll know when you check it out at fredcancomic.com.
Yes, he can.
Yep.
Yes, he can.
Oh my gosh, that's the guy that my Comcast tech looked like over the weekend. Looked just like that.
Jim Broadbent. Right.
Yeah, he looked just like him.
Jim Broadbent.
With big old curly mustaches off to the side. His name was Dennis, but he looked like Jim Broadbent.
Jim Broadbent.
Or lack thereof. We didn't get it fixed when he was here, but anyway.
That's right.
All right, Brian Hibbett, do a song, and then I think you're going to beat the truck still even. Go ahead.
Derek wrote in as he ate jelly beans from a martini glass and said, "Greetings from the Great White North. I know I'm submitting my request late this year, but on February 1st, I'll be turning 34. I'm going through a bit of a weird phase in my life, as many others are, I'm sure, in that I have a good and stable job that I have where I want to get out of there because I need something else." He's not an English major. No, I'm kidding. Please play something to just energize me. That being said, I'm over 3 months behind on my podcast right now, so in May, I'll be thankful for the song. I can definitely see why you like testing the ship's phasers. Signed, Derek in Canada.
I'll play both those.
I can definitely see why you like it.
And is Test the Ship's Phasers here? Nope, so I'm playing this.
I like fried chicken.
All right, that's all you get.
I like the kid who likes fried chicken.
I do too.
He does watch the news. Derek requested something Japanese or something upbeat or something fun. Japanese cover of a Western song or anime related. Listen, this will satisfy so many of those requests that you're going to love it. The Japanese ska band Yum Yum Orange. Yes, just let that gestate for a moment.
That's
the
awesome.
Japanese ska band Yum Yum Orange did this great cover of Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. And what they did that's even better is they took almost all the lyrics out. And it's even better.
Wow.
Here is Yum Yum Orange with some high energy Japanese ska with their cover of Don't Worry, Be Happy.
That's going to do it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of TMS. Thanks, and we'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
And we were still fresh enough to take in Chinatown.
Ew.
Ew.
I like the sound of that.
Nobody commented on me saying